Oh, hi, I'm Zerfall, and welcome to another Halls video. This is the Halls video for August 2013, and it was the Halls video that almost wasn't. I only had one game purchased for about 3/4 of the month, and eventually I got 3 games, so that was something. But, as you can see behind me here, I now have the Super Nintendo, which is very good because my Retron 2 crapped out already and doesn't work anymore. But with that came a whole ton of games, and I bought it right on the cusp of the month, right at the end. So I'm going to split those games up into both the September and August videos. But let's start off with the NES games that I did purchase. The first one is Robo Warrior. Now this is a game that's very like Bomberman, but the downfall of it is that there aren't very many power-ups, and most of them don't seem to do much. I don't have the instruction booklet, so perhaps I'm a little off on that. But there's ones that don't seem to have very much of an effect on the game, other than score. And you only have one life. You have about 4 hit points and an energy meter. If both run out, it's game over. And if you hit yourself with bombs 4 times, it'll kill you. The problem is your energy meter starts draining very quickly when you run out of energy tanks, I guess they are. I think the energy meter actually runs down, and you lose energy tanks as soon as one empties. And it's actually pretty hard to find power-ups to replenish them, so I've never beat the first level. Grimgore and I played this game for a bit, and we had fun, we beat the high score, but first level, not so much. The next game is Boom! Let's do that right there. Oh, okay. Wheel of Fortune for the NES. Now, this is based on the #1 hit game show, but it's based on a really early version of the game where there's only 3 weird tiles: Bankrupt, Free Spin, and Miss a Turn, and there's not a whole bunch of extra prizes and everything. The really weird thing is it's created by Rare, and apparently they didn't have much in the way of music to use. They made up their own other than the original intro music, and especially when you're entering your name, it's got really strange, eerie music to use. But also, Vanna White looks very much like a Muppet. It's a fun game to play a couple times with your friends, but it's nothing to really go out of your way to find and buy. If you're really into Wheel of Fortune, maybe play a newer version. Next up is the first game that I purchased, and it was one that I was happy enough with to actually do a Halls video of just this game, and it is the original Mike Tyson's Punch-Out! Now, originally this game had Mike Tyson in the North American version. It was always originally with Mr. Dream in the Japanese version, but after Mike Tyson's Punch-Out! Became a hit in North America, they swapped it out in Japan as well. And eventually, after their 3-year contract with Mike Tyson ran out, they did just switch it back to Punch-Out!, where you fight Mr. Dream at the end. It's one of the classic games for the NES. It's just like Super Punch-Out! Last month. You fight all these crazy boxers. If you know what to do with them, they're very easy to beat. Mike Tyson as a boss, he'll knock you down in the first, I think, minute and 30 seconds of the first round. If he punches you and hits you once, even if you're blocking, it'll knock you down in one hit. So you kind of have to dodge a bunch and wait until you're past that timer, and then you can really try to fight back. But all the other fighters have sort of patterns that you can follow, and if you do something sneaky, you might knock them down in your very first one. King Hippo, also famous in Captain N, the Game Master, is from this game, and he's one of the guys where if you manage to knock him down once, he's so fat he can't get back up. But you've also got to know how to beat him. When he opens his mouth, you got to punch him in the face and then hit him in his little belly button bandage spot, and you got to hit the weak spot for maximum damage, I guess. But Mario is the referee in that game, and that leads to a string of Mario games. First up, Mario Paint. Now, Mario Paint is a fun game. Use the NES mouse for it. I think the only footage I have for it right now is playing the Coffee Break Splat the Bugs game. But, you know, you could do a lot of things in the game. You could draw, you can animate. The Mario Paint music composer is still a very popular music composer for people to use on the internet. You can find a lot of videos with sort of covers out there of the Mario Paint music. I kind of regret not recording any for that, but it's a little late now. Next up, Super Mario Kart. Another classic Mario game, another classic SNES game. Um, I'm not the best at it anymore, but I did manage to get first place in the cup. But I was only playing 50 cc's, and it's funny going back and playing 50 cc's. I think the reason why I was so bad is because at the higher speeds, when you take the corners, you do little jumps and stuff, you get a different slide. But at 50 cc, you can take the corners so sharp that if you try to do the slide, you end up smashing into the corner sides and everything. It doesn't work out so well. But Princess Peach was my favorite to pick for it. And last up, Super Mario World. Classic Mario Brothers platforming. It's a fun game, introduces Yoshi, who eventually has his own games and whatnot, and continued on the Mario series. It's standard fare for any Mario fan. Next up, Vegas Stakes. Now, this one also uses the Super Nintendo mouse, and that's its claim to fame, I guess. It's a Vegas simulator. You go to Vegas, you have to work your way up. If you manage to get all of your numbers in your little dial that warrant how much money you have to roll over to 9, then you make $10 million. Congratulations, you've beat the world. You now are rich. The one fun thing about buying games used is often they have save games on them, and that let me record and beat the game in about 5 minutes because somebody had already played and beat the game and they left their save game on there. There's also a fun thing about renting games too, is that you could sometimes have a save game right before the end of the game and kind of beat it in a hurried rush. Next up, a movie franchise video game, Judge Dredd. Now this is a kind of standard side-scroll beat-em-up game. It's a little different in that they give you objectives for your mission and you have to complete them before you can continue on. In my playthrough that I played just for this video, I missed blowing up some stuff and I couldn't go in the door that you have to go in to beat the game, but at the same time I couldn't make the jump to get back to where the problem was to blow up the stuff. But I also managed to kill all the bad guys in the level, so I didn't really have an easy way to kill myself and start it over again. So it was a bit of a fail. The game has some flaws. It's kind of fun though. You sometimes have to arrest guys, sometimes you have to sentence them to death. And last up this month is a fun game that anyone that's played probably really enjoyed. A lot of people like the first one better, but I like the second one as well. And that is Earthworm Jim 2. Now, ooh, this one came from somewhere weird. Video time with a Y. I never noticed that. Anyways, it was a fun game. It introduced the slime in his backpack, which, if you're watching my little video here, it was a pain in the ass to try to get the slime sling to work. I don't know if it's my controller just needs to be opened up and cleaned out, but I constantly ended up having the parachute of the slime open up as opposed to having them slime and connect to slimes dripping from the roof. That sentence had a lot of slime in it. But anyways, those are my hauls this month. Best part is the Super Nintendo. I'm very excited about that because, like I said, my Retron 2 broke, and I've discovered that I can get S-Video out of that while still sending video to my little TV at the side there. And so I can record very easily all the systems I have right now. So maybe in the future there will be some actual gameplay from actual cartridges. I'm Zerfall, thanks for watching, and hope to see you next month with some more haul.